Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I'm going to take a look at the best decks to climb to Legend in July 2019. My last best decks to climb video was made in early June, and in 1 month not a whole lot has changed. Out of these 7 decks that I'm going to present, 5 are the same archetypes that were already the best ones in June. But all except for one have had some minor changes to the lists, and there are a couple of newcomers as well. So, if you're interested in the most efficient climb this month, let's take a look at what decks you could use. At number 7 we have the only real newcomer. This is the real new deck that has popped up over the past month that did not exist before. And it's a Midrange Shaman. It's a Midrange token style Shaman that uses Bloodlust, uses the Stormbringer, makes tokens. If it gets on board, it can end the game with Bloodlust, it might turn those tokens into random legendary minions, and it pumps up a lot of value into Shudderwock, so that Shudderwock can summon a brand new board for the deck. There is not a ton of data about this deck yet. This is the newest successful archetype in Hearthstone. So it's a little bit difficult to say where exactly does it belong. Is it going to be one of the top ones even later on once people actually know how to play against it? Or is it going to fall down a little bit? But the early numbers are so good that it looks like it definitely belongs in the top 7. Coming in at number 6, I have finally approved of Cyclone Mage enough to include it over here. Lots of people want to play Cyclone Mage, and Cyclone Mage has its moments. It's a deck that can do really immensely powerful things, because if it has a bunch of cards in hand, it plays Mountain Giant, it plays Conjurer's Calling, maybe Khadgar Conjurer's Calling, it just fills its board with huge minions. And Luna's Pocket Galaxy allows it to discount its minions to 1 mana, then it just throws them out at rapid pace, or goes for 1 mana Antonidas. It builds big minions, freezes the board in order to hit face. It can generate random spells with Sorcerer's Apprentice and playing a bunch of spells and playing Mana Cyclone. It's just a real fireworks of randomly generated cards and randomly generated minions and power. Of course, sometimes those randomly generated minions don't line up perfectly, and sometimes you don't get the right draw, sometimes you don't get the good random stuff. So Cyclone Mage has issues with consistency. Sometimes you hit like 70-80% win rate with this over a session, and other day and you're stuck at 50. But it is difficult to deny that this is one of the decks that has a big effect on the current metagame. Coming in at number 5 is Token Druid. Token Druid is just solid. It doesn't do anything too fancy, but it just builds a board after board after board, and once you can no longer remove its boards, then it kills you with Savage Roar. Or with buffs, or with whatever it feels like. The featured list for this month is a little bit less cute than last month, a little bit more straightforward. It's still a Sea Giant build, Sea Giant builds are good. But it cuts all the fancy stuff and just goes back to the basics. At number 4 we have Bomb Warrior. And well, Bomb Warrior does Bomb Warrior things. It puts bombs into the opponent's deck and then the opponent explodes. The only small twist for this month is that 1 copy of Silence has made its way even to Bomb Warrior, just to make it a little bit easier to deal with all those magnetic things. At number 3 we have Aggro Overload Shaman, and Aggro Overload Shaman has been evolving. The most recent evolution of Aggro Overload Shaman is a very recent one, and it's experimentation on what sort of Murloc package to include. So this build, for example, includes 2 copies of Murloc Tidecaller, 2 copies of Sludge Slurper, and 2 copies of Underbelly Angler. And if you get Underbelly Angler with some of those 1-drop Murlocs, then you suddenly have a board full of Murlocs. So this sort of small hybridization with Murloc Shaman has been able to give Aggro Overload Shaman a little bit more punch, a little bit more early game, goes even a little bit faster than before. It still has a big weakness in Warrior, it's just so difficult to have enough reach to actually kill Warriors. But against the rest of the field, this is doing pretty well. At number 2 we have Bomb Hunter, and actually this is the exact same list I featured 1 month ago. This is still the highest performing Bomb Hunter list. What can you do? It's just optimal for the archetype. It does its thing. It makes mechs, it galvanizes some mechs so that they're cheaper, it magnetizes some mechs so that they're bigger, it hits face, it has death rattles, it has bombs, so even if you clear the board you still get hit in the face. It has Leroy that's also going to hit you in the face, it just hits you in the face. It also has a bunch of hard removal, so if you have something big then it just kills that and keeps hitting you in the face. Its weaknesses are these wide boards. There's really wide boards, then it has a bit of a difficult time clearing those up. It's only like Missile Launcher plus Venomizer combo that does it. But other than that, this deck is simply a steamroller. And finally at number 1, it's still Control Warrior. Control Warrior is just so good. This month's change is a minor one. Iron Beak Owl has made way for a Spellbreaker. Yeah, 1 mana cheaper silence effect isn't really needed for this deck right now. It's slightly better to have a slightly better body. Midrange Hunter is the deck that's best able to challenge Warrior, but overall, Control Warrior currently has positive win rate against every single class in the game. So while there are specific decks that can target it, Midrange Hunter, maybe Mech Paladin to some extent, it's hard for those decks to beat the rest of the meta, so Control Warrior just reigns supreme. Those are the top 7 decks to climb to Legend in July. Next month we're getting a new expansion, completely new meta, but if you're looking to get that Legend this month too, then these are the tools to do it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.